18 days. It's been crazy, guys. Like, my momentum, I'm trying. As you probably know, obviously, I'm not reading one book a day. I started this project back in like early May, so you're seeing this later, and I've been struggling. I have read so much. I don't think I've read books this fast, and yes, some of them are kid books and some aren't, but at the same time, I'm pushing myself. So we are on day 18, and let's just get right over there, find the book, and hopefully it's nice to me. Alright, time for 18. Oh, I'm lucky. It's right at the beginning. Okay, day 18. It feels like a paperback. The length of the size of it doesn't seem bad. Well, I'm kind of scared. We've got a good mixture from 18 days, so I want to look at the title of this one first. Ooh, that looks pretty. Dream Quake by Elizabeth Knox. Kind of a pretty cover. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever heard of this author, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Let's see what this one's about. Okay, let's review Dream Quake by Elizabeth Knox. Well, this book is probably one of so far the lowest rated books I gave for reading, and I feel bad. I'm sorry, Terry. Let me read the back and then I'll go into my thing. So, to stop the nightmares. The dream hunting began as a beautiful thing. When Teska Haim discovered that he could enter the place and share the dreams he found there with other people. But he has disappeared, and Laura, his daughter, knows that the dreams have turned sour. The wealthy still experience sweet dreams, but the government has been using nightmares to keep the convicts obedient and content. On Lazarus Eve, when elite citizens gather in the Dream Palace, Laura is determined to show them the truth. She plunges them into the nightmare used to control the convicts, but as she struggles to counter the government's sinister plans, a deeper mystery surfaces, a puzzle only Laura can unravel, a puzzle having to do with the very nature of the place. What is the place, after all, and what does it want from her? Now, the back sounds kind of interesting. You know, the whole government thing, stuff like that. I've read books that kind of have that vibe. But, this book, okay. It is part of a series. I believe it's a 2-part series. I don't want to read the other one. It came out in 2007, and she got it at a place that she calls the Bins. Like, Terry got it at the Bins, which is like, I think, a place where you can go and get deals, basically. And so, I call it kind of thrift store-ish, but not quite. Excuse me. Can you tell I really don't want to talk about this book? I started reading it, and I would literally say, okay, this book is, just for the story, about 442 pages. I wanted to give up about 25 pages in. Now, it's not saying the writing was bad. I want to say that I'm not saying the writing was bad. But what I'm saying is, I just wasn't that interested. It didn't hook me in any way, shape, or form at the beginning. Like, I had a smidge of interest, but it could have been the writing, but I don't want to say that. It was a long read because I didn't like it at the beginning. And it was somewhat still picked some maybe interesting elements here or there. It just was not, for some reason, a book that I wanted to read. Like, it just felt like I was trudging through it because I told myself I would read every book in this book Advent gift, where normally I would have probably said nope and put it down about 25 pages in. And I tried. Like, and I'm going to be honest, I gave this a start several times. Like, literally, I was like, okay, maybe today's just not the day to read it. I put it aside. I'd pick it up 2 days later. I'm like, okay, I got to start reading this. And so, like, I'd be reading and then I'd be like, I'm like, I don't know. I would love for somebody else that has read this to comment down below, because I don't know if it was just me. I just really want to know whether it was just maybe the days that I was taking to read it, maybe I wasn't in the best headspace for the book, but I don't even want to try again. That's what's sad. I mean, to me, if I had to try, I kept picking it up. I'd read it a few pages, I'm like, no. Read it, wait the next day, read a few more pages, no. And then finally, I was like, what, just get it done. And I don't like that idea of just getting a book done. I ended up overall giving it 2.5 out of 5 stars, which is sad for me because most books will at least get a 3-star out of me, mostly if they're a decent read. But, and like I said, I don't want to say it's the writing because I don't feel it was that. I think it was just, I don't know what to describe. I wasn't feeling fully invested in the character. This is actually book 2, I guess. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe because it's book 2 and I hadn't read the first one. I had some inclination of what had been going on in this, story. I think when I first started reading, I didn't realize it was a second book until I started looking more, and then I obviously ended up opening the cover going, really? It told me up the front that it was a second. So I definitely would say, in the future, if I ever issue a challenge to my cousin again, or to anybody else to get me books, please make sure they're not the second or third or whatever book in the series. Because ironically, I think I don't know how many there's been so far that could be part of a series, and I know some coming up might be too, and that's just uh-oh. So definitely, if you are thinking about this book, interesting with the dream thing, I think it had good intentions. I think the idea of it was good. I just feel like maybe it just wasn't started in the best way. It got a little interesting here and there towards the end, but again, when I got done with it, it just got set down. I'm like, okay, I'm done. It wasn't ooh, this. So, and this is a book I think Terry was almost interested in me sending back. I can't remember. And if you still want me to send it back, Terry, let me know, because I kind of want a second opinion on whether it was me or the book. So again, it came out in 2007. It's part of a series. I gave it 2.5 stars. And I feel really bad about that. I really do. Because like I've said before, I always start books at a base of 3, and then I go up or down depending on if I liked it. And the cover really isn't terrible. If you look at the cover up close, it's not terrible. So that was a good thing. And even on the back, it's just hard to see. You can see a little bit of an image coming through the words. It's a little hard to see. There was no pictures through it, which that doesn't bother me if there's no pictures. But it's just... Again, Terry, I'm sorry, this is one of my so far lowest rated books from this challenge. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. But, as always, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of future videos. Check the description box, I have links to my social media there. Also a link to Terry's social media, Terry's YouTube channel. I know she would really appreciate for you guys to go over there, check out her stuff, subscribe to her channel as well. And like I said, we may do a challenge in the future, but I'm definitely going to make more guidelines. This challenge was anything goes, fiction, nonfiction, all that, kids books, whatever went. But if we do a challenge again, I may have to make a little more rules for it. And if you'd like to see that, make sure you comment down below. And again, all these books are in a playlist. Please share the playlist with any of your reading friends. I would love to know if other people have read this book or any of the books I've read so far. And as always, if you have any predictions or books you'd like to see that maybe I end up unwrapping, can't talk right now, comment down below and maybe something you predict will show up. And as always, have a great day, everyone.